Aloha, I'm Rudy Maxa. In this series, we're geared up for new adventures as we take on the Pacific Rim. And the islands of Hawaii, where east and west intersect, are at the center of it all. This time, we're visiting Maui and the Big Island of Hawaii on Smart Travels.
Smart Travels is a grand tour of the world's great destinations, the people, places, and unique local flavors. Now, tips, trips, and secret places on Smart Travels Pacific Rim.
The moment you set foot on the Hawaiian Islands, you feel as if you've stepped into another world. The warm breeze is scented with orchids, and the changing landscape morphs from sun-drenched coastline to misty rainforest to volcanic splendor. As writer Paul Theroux put it, Hawaii is not a state of mind, but a state of grace.
Most of us take one look at Hawaii, and it's love at first sight. Sure, you can find a dream vacation here, endless days of lounging on the beach, discovering great restaurants, or plunging into outdoor activities. But if you dig a little deeper, look below the surface, you'll grow to appreciate these islands even more.
A small archipelago in the vast Pacific, Hawaii has long been a magnet for cultural exchange, drawing influences from Asia, America, and other Pacific islands. This trip will begin on Maui and then hop over to the island of Hawaii, or as locals know it, the Big Island. Each Hawaiian island has a distinct character and personality all its own. I love Maui because it offers so many options for entertainment, for relaxing, and just plain fun.
The island was named for a Hawaiian demigod, that is to say, half man, half god. According to legend, Maui gave birth to the Hawaiian Islands when he threw his magic fish hook down to the ocean floor and pulled the islands up from the bottom of the sea.
The resort town of Lahaina harbors historic touches left over from its colorful past. The town's name means cruel sun, and in ancient times, powerful chiefs ruled this arid village. The great king Kamehameha I made this the seat of his government, after becoming the first chief to rule over the Hawaiian Islands. European missionaries also settled here as they set about converting the islanders to Christianity. In the 1840s, Lahaina saw a boom in the whaling industry when as many as 400 ships a day anchored here. The same streets that once teemed with rowdy, brawling sailors now serve tourists from all over the world. On the northern tip of the island, pineapple fields surround the Kapalua resort area, rolling gently into shorelines of travel poster perfection.
What's the #1 reason visitors come to Hawaii? The beaches, of course. And if Maui's beaches were a class full of overachievers, then Kapalua would be teacher's pet.
The Hawaiian Islands are blessed with warm weather all year round. The seasonal highs vary by no more than 15 degrees or so. Energetic travelers can scuba dive or snorkel to see exotic marine life. Snorkeling in particular can be enjoyed by the whole family, and Kapalua is a good place for beginners.
In case you're new to the sport, here are a few basics. You'll need 3 pieces of equipment: mask and snorkel, and fins. Now, if you don't want to bring your own from home, they're easy to rent here. One more thing, don't forget the waterproof sunscreen.
Mid-morning is prime snorkeling time because the water generally is calm, and the sun is bright but not yet strong enough to cause serious burning. Crystal clear waters await you. For me, it's a kind of meditation, just listening to the sound of my own breathing and simply being in this underwater world.
Hawaii is golfer heaven. Even non-golfers are drawn to the courses here, thanks to these sweeping views, volcanic hills, and blue ocean waters.
Maui has nearly a dozen courses, some ranking at or near the top worldwide. Kapalua might be the best nationally known golf resort of the islands because of the PGA tournament played here each year.
Is there ever a day here in Maui where you can't play golf?
And I don't think there's been a day that we've ever closed the golf courses. I mean, we're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every single day, because it's paradise.
Fortunately, tee times aren't hard to come by. When I vacation somewhere new, I always enjoy getting a few tips from one of the local pros.
We do two things. We check our grip, which is the heel pad on top, which places the center of the wrist down the center of the club, okay? And then narrow your stance to where it's shoulder width, and then you're ready to roll. Wow, that is awesome.
He's on the green.
Aloha. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
After a rough day of golf and snorkeling, it's great to kick back with a little local music. We're taking in a performance of slack key guitar. In this tradition, the guitar strings are loosened or slacked to produce unique sounds. Mexican cowboys introduced guitars to the islands, and Hawaiians quickly adapted the instruments to complement ancient rhythms and chants.
Hawaiians mostly use their voices. Like, for instance, they would say something like this. E ho mai kaike mai luna mai o na me huna no he o na mele. Basically, they're using their voice. Then all of a sudden they add some, some rhythms to it, and be like. We're using actually chimes, and hammer-ons and pull-offs.
In poetry, you have the secondary meaning and tertiary and so forth. We call it kauna. And it's the deeper meaning of a song where you say one thing and it can be interpreted literally. And then there'll be another secondary meaning where quite often a flower might be compared to the loved person itself. And a certain breeze may bring a scent of a flower, and that stands for that person,
The Kapalua resort area features several hotels as well as condominium-style accommodations. If you like a little more independence or are traveling with a family, a condo can be a good alternative to a traditional hotel room. Here, guests get the touches of a top hotel combined with the convenience of a full kitchen. For a luxury hotel, the nearby Ritz-Carlton has a surprisingly relaxed atmosphere, and the staff here tries to maintain the spirit of island culture. When digging began for hotel construction, workers uncovered an ancient Hawaiian burial ground. Because natives consider the site sacred, the builders agreed to move the hotel further inland. Hawaiians believe that from such places, ancestral spirits continue to watch lovingly over the land and its people.
Now, as we walk on this ancestral land, what do you think about, Clifford?
I think about every single pohaku, every single rock. every single tree, every single flower is a part of my ancestry. They come back as aumakua. They are reincarnated as nature. And that is the Hawaiians' connection to the environment. Everything must have balance. Everything must be taken care of.
These burial sites remind us of how European diseases devastated early islanders. A huge percentage of the native population was wiped out because Hawaiians lacked immunity to diseases carried here by Westerners. To see more of the island, we're taking on Maui's most famous drive, 52 twisty turning miles to the little town of Hana. Get ready for adventure. Begin with a full tank of gas. There are no gas stations along the highway, and stations in Hana close by early evening. It also helps to bring along a guidebook or map to identify some of the interesting sights along the way. The winding white knuckle ride features more than 600 curves and some of the most gorgeous scenery on Earth. The road started life as a footpath pounded out by the feet of early islanders. It wasn't paved until 1962, and even then was a difficult drive until it was improved 20 years later. The road to Hana isn't so much about the destination as it is about the journey. Along the highway, stop at a fruit stand and treat yourself to some fresh produce. What do we got over here? What is this?
That's a macadamia nut tree, and there you can smack your own macadamia nut. It's the hardest nut in the world to crack. Want to try?
Smack a macadamia nut? Smack a mac?
Yeah.
Well, these are hard. There. I think I got it. So I just put it in my mouth?
Those are passion fruit.
That's good. That is the freshest macadamia nut I've ever had. Go whack another mac. Most of the drive takes us through tropical rainforest, passing by dozens of plummeting waterfalls. Farther along, the road opens into fertile valleys that shelter remnants of old Hawaiian villages. Here we get a peek at pre-resort Hawaii, when life had a quieter pace. We finally arrived in the modest town of Hana. At one time, sugar paid the bills around here, but the last plantation shut down in the 1940s. In 1946, when a rancher stocked the surrounding pastureland with cattle and opened a hotel, a new economy was born. That's it. We've done the road to Hana. Now, we just have to do the drive back. If you think a visit to Hawaii isn't complete without a luau, never fear. Maui offers plenty of these traditional Hawaiian feasts, usually accompanied by some lively entertainment. Hula is a form of chant and dance that was originally tied closely with religious practices. Mortified Protestant missionaries denounced the hula and banned it as a heathen dance. But it found new life in the late 1800s when Hawaii's king encouraged a renewal of traditional arts. The dances performed at luau's often originate in different parts of Polynesia. Fire dancing, for example, has roots in Samoa and was traditionally performed by warriors returning victorious from battle.
Twirling knives of fire were thought to intimidate the enemy in a display of strength and power. For me, it's dazzling fun.
Maui's charms are limitless, but we've got to check out one more island. Now, word of advice, don't try to see too many islands in one visit. One or two might be just enough. After all, you can see the rest when you come back again.
We're taking a short plane ride over to the largest island in the Hawaiian archipelago, the Big Island of Hawaii. Mother Nature really outdid herself on the Big Island. It's a masterwork of tropical rainforests, peaceful meadows, and fiery volcanoes. This island definitely lives up to its name. By Hawaiian standards, it's big. Driving distances can be considerable. It's impossible to see everything here in a few days. So if you have particular sites you're interested in, you may want to choose accommodations that are conveniently located. The Fairmount Orchid, on the northwest part of the island, has lots of romantic touches as well as some great programs on Hawaiian traditions. After you've had your fill of spa treatments and lounging in the botanical gardens, take advantage of a few island thrills you won't find anywhere else. We're hopping aboard the Hahalualele, or Flying Manta Ray. This is an authentic Polynesian double-hulled sailing canoe.
It was built here on the Big Island using traditional native woods gathered from the Big Island, like the hulls are made of the native wood koa.
Archaeologists believe that 2 waves of Polynesian immigrants voyaged thousands of miles over open sea in canoes similar to this. The first group came from the Marquesas Islands more than 1,600 years ago, and the second group came from Tahiti about 800 years ago.
How did the Polynesians navigate, and did they know they were going to find land this way?
That's a great question, because we know from ancient chants they navigated with stars, sun, moon, ocean swell direction. Different types of seabirds venture so far from islands or land, and that's it. So when you see a particular type of seabird, for example the noyo, you would say, oh, we know that we're 50 miles from the nearest land. And they would wait until it started to get dark, and that bird, when they return to land, they fly straight line. They set their course for that, and they follow that, and they end up at an island or some kind of land.
This segment of trail that we're on is one of the Alaloas.
Back on land, cultural expert Gary Medina gives us more insight into early island life.
This floor is called Kaniku, and it starts off in Mauna Loa.
We're trekking a short ways from our hotel along a winding, vine-covered trail in search of the Puako Petroglyph Park.
Watch your step through here.
Prior to Western contact, the ancient Hawaiians had no written language. They made etchings in hardened black lava to convey important events and images.
One of my favorites, it's called a piko poho. Piko poho, and what is your piko? Your piko is your belly button. When a child is born in the islands here, the umbilical is taken, placed in this cupping right here for a 24-hour period. What happens here is that if the piko is taken, the child, or the umbilical, the child is thought to be mischievous, grow up mischievous. But more important, the piko poho signifies you being connected to the land. Another one of my favorites is this one right here. It's called a pea, and it is the Polynesian crab claw sail with the white catch at the top and the more narrow bottom. How our pea works is that if you're out in the ocean, the most important thing you need is fresh water. And if it rains, water is collected at the wide portion and then funneled down to the narrow end where you just put your utensil and fill with water.
Many visitors want to take rubbings of the petroglyphs, but that's a bad idea because it'll destroy them over time.
Photographs are fine though, and they turn out best if taken early or late in the day when the sun's rays are long. Another word of advice: wear sturdy shoes for walking on rugged lava fields, and be careful not to step on the etchings.
Traditional Hawaiian society had laws that regulated activities such as fishing and planting. This helped to conserve island resources and maintain a balance with nature. But when British Captain James Cook landed on neighboring Kauai in 1778, life on the islands would never be the same.
At first, the Hawaiians thought Cook was a god and celebrated his arrival. But here on the Big Island, friendly relations broke down after British demands for supplies strained the hospitality of the islanders. When one islander stole a longboat from the Brits, Captain Cook retaliated by taking a Hawaiian chief hostage. The chief's protectors attacked the British and killed the captain.
But word was out about the beautiful islands in the Pacific, and soon other European vessels were making this a regular port of call.
For many, the most exciting thing about the Big Island isn't what's happened in its past, it's what's happening in its future. Thanks to almost continuous volcanic activity, you have the opportunity to watch the island grow right before your very eyes.
Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is home to Mauna Loa and to Kilauea, the world's most active volcano. The spectacular volcanic activity offers scientists insights on the birth of the Hawaiian Islands and gives visitors dramatic views. You can actually hike to the edge of the lava flow, or you can take a helicopter ride for stunning aerial views. There have been 35 eruptions since 1952 and regular lava flow since 1983. According to Hawaiian traditions, this is the home of Pele, the volcano goddess. Ancient stories make references to the many eruptions set off by the angry deity. She's considered both a creator and a destroyer. Pele hurls fountains of molten rock into the air, masters great flows of lava, and occasionally reveals herself in the fires of Kilauea. There are many man-made wonders in the world, but few of them can compete with the staggering natural beauty of Hawaii. Add in the rich cultural heritage, and this might just be the perfect getaway. The tropical splendor will relax your mind, and the island traditions will feed your soul.
The more time I spend in the Hawaiian Islands, the more I come to appreciate these jewels of the Pacific. If you approach Hawaii not as a place to be consumed, but as a world to be discovered, I promise you won't leave disappointed. In fact, you may never leave at all. I'm Rudy Maxa. Until next time, aloha.